Friday Football Forecast Show. I'm Buster Crumpton and my tag team partner Chuck Wegman's unable to be here with us today, so please bear with me. I'm new at trying to guide and do a show on my own, but I'm going to try to get you through the news of 8-5A football here in Georgia as it happened this past week. We're going to start off today's show with the Class 5A Top 20, and we're going to show you how things panned out after week one. There was a few teams that leapfrogged some other teams, and the number one spot was Northside Warner Robins after their big victory over Flowery Branch. They took the number one spot from Tucker. And number two is Tucker. Number three is ML King. Number four is Kell, and number five is Stevenson. So not much changing. I think Kell leapfrogged Stevenson from last week, and the biggest jump was Northside overtaking Tucker in the one spot. 6 through 10, the team from Dallas that we got to see play here a couple years ago in the playoffs, East Paulding, they've got the number 6 spot. Warner Robins in the number 7 spot. At 1-0 is Thomas County Central at number 8. And, of course, two teams who lost their opening games but did not drop far in the polls, and I imagine that had a lot to do with who they played. Number 9, Flowery Branch, who lost to the Northside Warner Robins, and number 10, Gainesville, who lost to West Forsyth. Number 11 through 20 on the other side, we start off with Southwest DeKalb in the 11 spot. Number 12 is Ware County at 0-1. Also in 0-1 is our Clarke Central Gladiators. They're at the number 13 spot, dropping 2 spots from 11 last week. Alatoona made a big jump to number 14. Bainbridge at 0-1 stayed in the top 20. They're at number 15. Another 8-5A team in our region, Heritage Patriots, jumped up to the number 16 spot at 1-0 after a big victory over Northgate. Number 17 is Pope. Number 18 is Northgate, the team that Heritage defeated. And then number 19 is Whitewater. Number 20 is Rome. That's your Class 5A Top 20 on this second week of 2012. We'll take you now to the 8-5A region standings and give you kind of a look at how things panned out in non-region play in the first week. Cedar Shows had a big win as they defeated Hart County 21-0. Cedar sitting at 1-0. Cedar Shows this week will travel to Elbert County to play the Blue Devils at the Granite Bowl. Cedar beat Hart County 21-0 to open the season, but Elbert County played a very tough game to number 1 Buford, losing only 14-3. In that series, Cedar leads the all-time series between them and Elbert County 6-1. In second place in the region is Salem. Salem beat Rockdale 28-7 in a big crosstown rivalry game. Salem this week will be on the road as they travel to 0-1 Wesleyan. Wesleyan lost to Holy Innocents 10-9 in their opener. This will be the first meeting between those two schools. In third place is Appalachia. They are also at 1-0. They beat Lanier 21-11. Appalachia this week, they will be at home against number 6, Greater Atlanta Christian. Greater Atlanta Christian averaging 32 points a game. Appalachia has never beaten Greater Atlanta Christian. Greater Atlanta Christian leads that all-time series 4-0. And the number 4 spot is the Heritage Patriots. They had a nice come-from-behind win over Northgate 9-7. This week, and I'm not sure if Heritage play. Yeah, they do play. Heritage travels across town to play Rockdale. Heritage leads that series all-time 20-12 with 2 ties. And Rockdale trying to keep from going 0-2 this year. In the 5th spot's Gainesville. The Gainesville Red Elephants lost their opener, as we said before, to West Forsyth 32-30. Gainesville this week has a big task as they will travel to number 1 Buford. Gainesville has never beaten Buford. Buford leads that all-time series 4-9. Wanda-Barra made it 0-25 as they lost to Jackson County this week 21-10. Wanda-Barra will travel to Monroe area. Monroe's fresh coming off of a 50-7 victory over Loganville. Wanda-Barra and Monroe, by the way, in their all-time series is tied 28 games apiece. That's a long-time rival that goes way, way back. Monroe is the last team that Wanda-Barra has beaten, and that was in 2009, since the 25-game losing streak started. And then, of course, our Gladiators of Clarke Central. They're 0-1. They lost to Marist 30-13. Clarke Central this week traveling to Central Gwinnett. Central Gwinnett is 1-0 after a 28-21 victory over Collins Hill. Central Gwinnett and Clarke Central used to play each other quite a bit back in the late 90s and 80s. Clarke Central leads the all-time series 11-1. The last time that Clarke Central faced Central Gwinnett was 2001. They won that game 24-14. And then, of course, the last couple teams here, Flowery Branch 0-1, their loss, again, we've covered with Northside. This week, they travel to the team that beat Gainesville. They go to number 10, West Forsyth. Flowery Branch leads that all-time series with West Forsyth 2-0, but I'm sure this West Forsyth bunch is packing a little bit more of a punch than teams in the past. And dragging up the rear, Loganville, as we said, lost to Monroe 50-7, and Loganville will be at home this week as they entertain Walnut Grove. Walnut Grove opened up their season with a 27-10 loss to Woodland Henry. This is the first meeting between those two schools. So that's your 5A standings after week 1 here in 2012. And then real quickly, we got a couple other things we want to cover and try to start as a little bit of a tradition here on the Friday Forecast Show. But we kind of want to show you the biggest stories from Region 8 Quad A, and it's going to be kind of like in a picture show here. But the 5 biggest stories that we thought caught our eye here at GITV with the region, we're going to start off with story number 5, and that was Wanda Barra making it 25 in a row after their loss to Jackson County. Wanda Barra desperately needing another win to get that monkey off their back, but I don't know if they're going to have much of a chance at Monroe this week after the thumping that Monroe gave Loganville. But nevertheless, number 5 story, Wanda Barra making it 25 losses in a row now, trying to avoid loss number 26. The number 4 story in the region, we thought it was a quite impressive thing. Cedar Shows with a new coach, blanking out Hart County 21-0. Cedar Shows sporting new uniforms for the first time in forever. They got a real nice Boise State look going on there. Boise State look going, and I think Cedar's probably going to get off to some great things here. We'll know after this week when they play Elbert County. Cedar Shows with a big task ahead of them, but if they play good at Elbert County and beat Elbert after what Elbert did to Buford, Clarke Central fans might get a little bit nervous at what kind of team we're going to be facing at the end of the season at Cedar Shows. Our number 3 story of the week we felt was Loganville getting thumped by Monroe 50-7. And not that Monroe's a bad team, but that's a crosstown rival. Really thought Loganville would have had a little more going there, but just really scratching our head that Loganville could give up that many points to their crosstown rivals. So a lot of questions I'm sure it's got to be answered there on that Loganville squad. Our number 2 story in the region this week, Northside came up to the Branch and crushed them, just absolutely embarrassed them. I think the final score was 48-7. The weird thing about that game, it was tied up 7-7 at the half, but then Northside just came out and hit all cylinders in the second half, and it just seemed like every time they touched the ball, they were finding the end zone at the Branch. So Flowery Branch coming off a very tough and almost embarrassing loss, but again, Northside does that to a lot of people, so folks at the Branch, don't hang your head too far down. That happens to a lot of people a lot of times when they run into that Northside Eagle bunch. And then, of course, the number 1 story that we thought around the region that caught our eye was Gainesville on last Thursday night losing to West Forsyth. I think Gainesville was heavily favored, but West Forsyth came in there and actually led that game 32-15 at the half, wound up winning 32-30 and hanging on for a big victory and probably one of the bigger upsets around the state, Gainesville falling to West Forsyth. That's our big region stories that we felt, the 5 biggest stories around the region that we felt caught most of the attention, most of the headlines around the state. And then, of course, we can't end our GITV forecast show without recognizing our GITV Players of the Week. And this week, our GITV Players of the Week on offense, it goes to wide receiver Jaquan Dowdy. Jaquan Dowdy had 2 big-time touchdown receptions. He had a lot of other catches for positive yardage, made some nice downfield blocks, but it just seemed like Jaquan was just about in on everything that was happening on the Clarke Central offense. So our GITV Offensive Player of the Week goes to Jaquan Dowdy. Our GITV Defensive Player of the Week goes to a guy that's playing a new position, and that would be linebacker Kayvon Williams. Kayvon had a ton of tackles, a lot of those in the first half, had a fumble recovery as well. But Kayvon's used to being on the offensive side of the ball playing running back, but he's starting to find a home on defense for Coach Self. So our GITV Offensive and Defensive Players of the Week, Jaquan Dowdy on the offensive side, Kayvon Williams on the defensive side. And again, we just want to remind you that this coming Friday night, Clarke Central travels to Lawrenceville to play Central Gwinnett. The Central Gwinnett Black Knights out of the 6A classification in Georgia high school football. Of course, Clarke Central in the 5A classification. Central Gwinnett won 28-21 last week over a very good Collins Hill group. Clarke Central having to bounce back off the loss to Bear, so it'll be a great game. Game time will be at 7:30. We'll start probably coming on there to you at about 7:15 on ClarkeCentralGITV.com. Don't miss it. Hope you can tune us in. Tell your friends about it. We hope you've enjoyed the Coach Leroy Riles Show and the Friday Football Forecast Show. I'm Buster Crumpton, and wanting to say Chuck Wegman, wherever you're at, hope you're watching. Hope you can get your hiney back over here where it belongs and help us get through these shows. For Clarke Central High School and GITV, I'm Buster Crumpton. So long, everybody.